guys, so today's video is going to be a really super quick kind of instructional video on how to clean the Beauty Blender sponges and just how to ensure that you're getting every little last bit of makeup out of the sponge to keep it as sanitary as possible. In case you aren't familiar with the Beauty Blender, they are these little hot pink egg-shaped sponges that you basically soak in water and then they expand and then you use them slightly damp to apply your makeup. And they just make everything super easy. You don't have to go in and do any like blending and buffing afterwards. They just kind of do all of the work for you. So if you haven't checked them out or tried them, I definitely recommend it. They're a really awesome tool to have. Something I've realized recently is that a lot of people don't know how to properly clean their Beauty Blender. I made my mom try them out a couple months ago and she tried cleaning it afterwards and she had no idea how to get rid of all the foundation left in the sponge after using it. And it's a big question I get with like clients at work, and even some of my friends aren't really sure how to properly clean them. So I thought I'd just film a really quick video on my personal method for how I get my Beauty Blender squeaky clean and looking brand new again. Last I checked, Beauty Blender does recommend that you clean your sponge every 3 days or every 3 uses. It's a sponge. It's gonna hold bacteria. There's no getting around that. So it's really important that you are cleaning it frequently, because if you aren't, it can definitely lead to breakouts, and I find when I'm not washing mine enough, it doesn't work as well either because it kind of just gets clogged up with makeup and all that gross stuff, and it just doesn't perform the way it's supposed to. And in this video, I am using the Beauty Blender solid cleanser to clean it. I had a little one from a set, so it's in the holder of another brush cleaner in the video when I'm actually showing how I'm doing it, but it is the Beauty Blender brand. I personally just find the solid cleansers to be the easiest way to use these. They just get them the most clean, I find. I have tried cleaning them with baby shampoo as well, and it just doesn't leave them feeling as clean. It leaves the texture feeling kind of off and not quite the way they're supposed to. So if you want to try the Beauty Blender or you already use it and love it, I definitely recommend investing in a solid brush cleaner. Also, one thing too that you will probably notice in the video is that when you wash this, the pink dye from the sponge does bleed out. I find that happens for the first little while when you get a new Beauty Blender, just as the excess dye is rinsing out. Because I know a lot of people get these home and the first time they wash them, all the dye starts bleeding and leaking out and they're like, what is happening? Is this supposed to be normal? I know that definitely happened to me when I got my first Beauty Blender, but it is totally normal if the dye is rinsing out. But if that does bother you, they do offer a Beauty Blender Pure on their website, which is just a pure white version. So it doesn't have any added dyes or anything like that if that's something that concerns you. I just want to throw in a quick disclaimer saying that this is just my personal way to clean it and what I find works best for me. But enough talking, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are of course starting off with a very dirty Beauty Blender sponge, and like I said in the intro to this video, I will be using the Beauty Blender Solid Brush Cleaner. And the first step you need to take is to thoroughly saturate your Beauty Blender with water just to make sure that it actually is picking up the soap that you're going to be cleaning it with. And then I just wring out most of the water, but not quite as much as if I was going to actually be using it. And then I basically just take the sponge and start rolling it in the solid cleanser, just really thoroughly coating the entire sponge. And then I basically just knead the Beauty Blender between my forefinger and the thumb and really just work in all the brush cleaner and making sure we're getting it all the way through the sponge. And then after I've done that for a while, I'll start wringing out any excess water and brush cleaner from the sponge, and here you can really see lots of the pink dye and also foundation coming out from the Beauty Blender. And then I just go ahead and thoroughly rinse the Beauty Blender. Okay, so this is after round 1, and as you can probably see here, there's still a little bit of foundation and product left in the sponge. So basically at this point, I'll just repeat the exact same process all over again. And I find how many times I have to repeat this process definitely depends on how often I'm washing my Beauty Blender. If I'm being really diligent and sticking to washing it every 3 days like you're supposed to, then I usually only have to do this once. But typically I find if I'm going a little bit longer and being a little bit lazier, it usually takes 2 or 3 times doing this cleaning process just to really get everything out. And as you can see, I'm getting even more foundation rinsing out of the Beauty Blender the second time around, so it's really important that you just do this as many times as you need to just to get a really thorough cleanse. And then I'm just rinsing it extremely well and just making sure I get rid of any soapy residue so that's not transferring to my face when I'm applying my makeup later on. And there it is, your Beauty Blender is perfectly clean and ready to use again. there it is, nice clean Beauty Blender sponge. One thing I also want to mention too is that if you buy it in the packaging like this, I recommend hanging onto this, because then when you're done washing it and using it, you can just pop it right on there. Keeps it from rolling around on your vanity or on like your washing counter or anything like that, to keep it sanitary and hygienic. And then as it dries and all the water evaporates, it'll shrink back down to size and just plop right down into the container. So that's just another little tip. I find that really handy to hang on to this packaging. So yeah, that is it. I hope some of you guys found this video helpful. If you did like this video and found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I so appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.